Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with another update for my project Pan. I absolutely love this project because it is one that is like for long haul products. It's one that focuses on finishing products up, so it's a really good one for me to actually lower the numbers in my collection. This is also usually where I roll in some of my products in my 50 products that I want to finish this year list, so it feels very accomplishing every time I have progress in this project. And we do have some good ones today as well to share with you. I'm excited to share the 10 products that I'm working on in this project. It is a rolling type of project Pan, so whenever I finish something up, I will roll something else in. And last month I actually had quite a few roll-ins, so yeah, it's been a good start of the year, and I'm gonna let you know if I'm rolling out anything else today or what it looks like. But before I jump into the video, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So let's start with the first product that is in this project, and that is this concealer right here. So this is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer, and I have mine in C0, which is just a white shade, as you can see. I don't actually use this one as a concealer. I use it as an eyeshadow primer, and it works really well for that. It's good to make colors pop, and also used to prime my eyelids. I don't have any problems with creasing, anything like that, so it's been a really fun product to reach for. I did work on this one last year as well, end of last year, and I had 53 uses on it at that point, but I've continued reaching for it this year and panning away at it. Last month I did take out the stopper, so you can see now what it looks like. I don't have any progress pictures on this one because there's nothing really to take photos of, but looking into this one, this is getting very bare, and also looking at the wand, it is getting more and more bare whenever I take it out. I'm trying to scrape some now so you can see, but yeah, it's really not very much left in here. I was hoping to have this one done by this update, but I'm still able to prime my eyelids with this one, so I do think there's still, you know, a week, 2 weeks left of use in this one, so I'm going to keep it in. However, I do have some good progress on it. As per normal, in this past month I reached for it 30 additional times, which is very good. It's actually the highest usage so far, but overall I do reach for it quite a lot. I reached for it 29 times in February and 24 times in January, so consistently quite high. But yeah, this is definitely a product that I'm expecting to be done next month. If it's still around next month, I'm going to be very surprised, but either way, it's an easy product for me to reach for, and I'm still happy to work on it, so it is staying in the project for now. Next up, we have another concealer type of product. This is an under eye corrector. So this is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in the shade light to medium, which I am trying to, of course, finish. I'm going to roll the footage of what this one has been looking like. I did have some progress on this one already. It's another one that I worked on last year, and I had 52 uses on it end of last year when I had it in a project. But I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm using it a lot. Not every single time I do my makeup, but majority of the time now. It's back in my routine. This is a product that I kind of get in and out of the habit of using. Some months, like let's say if I pan one of these, I kind of get out of the habit usually and I don't include it, but as soon as I roll it into a project or determined to start using it again, I do reach for it almost every single day. So this is what it looked like last month, and as you can see, it is getting lower. I don't know like how easy it is to see progress on this one, because I feel like until you hit pan, it is a little bit harder to see the progress. But this is what it looks like today, and I'm really happy with the movement. I am not quite at pan yet, but I'm getting quite low, especially if you look at this from the side, which I will show you in a second. It is definitely getting lower. So yes, you can see the product right here. And again, from the side, you might be able to see like how low it's getting. So it's definitely, yeah, I'm definitely making progress. And I'm also wearing this one like quite evenly. So I feel like when I hit pan, it will still take some time, but at least like then it is already quite evenly worn down. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm gonna hit pan on this one next month. I think if I focus on the center, I could do that. But we'll see. Otherwise, it's probably going to be 2 more months until I pan on it. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to keep working on this one. Again, it's another one that is an easy one I can incorporate into everyday kind of routines. And this one I have reached for 28 times in the past month, which again is the best month so far in the year for this product. I reached for 27 times in January and 26 times in February, and again 28 now, so you're slightly higher than that. But yeah, very excited, and it's staying in the project as well. And I just realized, by the way, with these two, I actually missed said the number because I forgot to include today's use. I'm actually using every single product in this project, I believe, in today's look. But these two I have reached for again in today's look. So this one actually reached for 31 times and this one I reached for 29 times. So just wanted to note that quickly. The next product that we have is this one right here. So this is sun cream, kind of primer type of product. This is the Hamish Artless Glow Base with SPF 50 plus PH plus plus plus. This here, like I said, is a product that you can use both as a primer and as a SPF. I do use it as an SPF, so whenever I use it, I use quite a bit of product, enough to get the SPF effect of it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful primer, and this one again has been in since the beginning of the year. So I've been working away on it, and in the past month I reached for this one 18 additional times, and I'm actually happy to say that this one is now finished. There is like a little bit of, like if I'm squeezing it now, there's like nothing coming out. So it is done. There is a tiny bit of product at the bottom, if I can see on the sides, but when I'm squeezing it, nothing comes out. So I am going to call this one quits, but I might cut this one open to get like 1 or 2 more uses out of it, but for the sake of this project, I'm going to count it as done. So again, I used it 18 additional times in the past month. I reached for it 16 times in February, 11 times in January, and that totals to 45 uses in the project, and it is now finished. So very, very happy to see that. And I'm happy to have a rollout in this project this month, so I will replace this at the end of the video. So we're moving on to a long haul product for sure in this project, and this is one that I am really enjoying, but I know it's going to take a long time to finish. I'm not even sure if I'm going to finish it this year, but we'll see how I get on. And that is the Frat Boy blush from The Balm. I'm going to roll the footage of what this one has been looking like from the introduction. So at the introduction of the year, this one had a little bit of use, really not that much at all. I only reached for it a handful of times in previous years, but it's a beautiful kind of peachy pink blush, so it's quite versatile. And I reached for this one 28 times the first month, so this is what it looked like an active number 1 in beginning of February. And again, at that month, I kept using it quite a lot. I reached for this one, I believe, every single day in February. So I had 29 additional uses in that month, which I'm really proud of. And this is what it looked like last month. So this is at the beginning of March. And yeah, I could definitely see a little bit of a dip starting to form. I still feel like I'm quite far away from pan, of course, but I'm happy to see some movement on it. And in the past month, I have kept on working on this one. I have reached for it almost every single day. And I have 30 additional uses on it. And this is what it looks like today. So I'm hoping that that dip has deepened. I can definitely very visibly see the dip now, so I'm hoping you guys can too. It is, like I said, a really nice everyday blush, so I'm able to get quite a lot of use out of it. But yeah, that is where it's sitting now. So this is the blush again. Hopefully you can see the dip there. I think you can definitely see it more visibly now compared to maybe last month. But yeah, I feel like you can definitely see that dip. I'm very excited to be able to see that because again, I know this product is going to take a long, long time. It does have 8.5 grams, I believe. Yeah, 8.5 grams of product. But we'll see how long it takes. It is the blush that I'm wearing today. It is one that I wear almost every single day. Like I said, I did roll a blush into my deco panning project for 10 uses, was it? Or I can't remember. No, for 15 uses. So this one is going to have to share its attention with that one. But again, I'm really happy with the uses, and you know, I use it the most again this month. 28 times in January, 29 times in February, and 30 times this past month. So I'm really, really happy that I'm being so consistent with it. And we'll just see how long it takes until I pan on it and eventually finish it. But again, it's going to definitely be in for the long haul. Next up, we have another sheet product, and that is from this palette right here, which is one that I tried to finish last year, but I do have one remaining shade in this palette, which I'm trying to get through this year. I'm able to use this one a little bit less than normal because I'm also panning a highlighting palette in my Pan That Face palette. But I'm going to roll the footage of what this one looked like at the introduction. It is this kind of purpley pale highlighting shade. It is called Hemisphere, and I already had pretty decent pan on it when I first introduced it, so you'll see that here. I have continued working away on it, and this is what it looked like at the first update. So I did use it 19 times that month, which was really, really good, but I feel like the progress wasn't as impressive as I would have hoped. But I kept working on it, and this is what it looked like at the last update. I reached for it 12 additional times at that month, and I did feel like the pan expanded a little bit more, which is quite interesting, but I feel like the first month I must have used a lot to kind of even it out. And in the last month, I also reached for this one 12 times, so same as the previous update, and this is what it looks like today. I'm finally seeing like the pan expanding quite significantly, and I feel like we're getting towards the end of this. I still obviously have quite a lot of product left in here, but I'm excited to see it moving, and I'm hoping that I'm close to repressing this one soon. So yeah, that is it right there. And like I said, I am kind of considering repressing this one just because it is so like shallow and stuck around the edges, but I'll continue working on it for a little bit longer and see when I want to do that. It might be between this update and next, or it might be just after the next update. We'll see how I get on, but it is the highlighter I'm wearing today. I wanted to wear as many of these products as I could, so it is again on my face, and I do like this one, but it is quite intense and also a little bit too purpley for me, so if I don't shear it out, it does look a bit stripy on my cheeks. So it isn't the most optimal highlighter to pan because it goes quite slowly due to that, but I am excited that it's finally showing some good progress, and I'm hoping to have this one done not in too much time. If I could have this one done in 2 more months, I think that was going to be my goal, because this one has already taken a lot longer than I expected it to. So let's move on to the next product, and that one is this one right here. This is actually a powder. This is the Chanel Natural Finish Pressed Powder in the shade Translucent 3, and this is what it looked like when I first rolled it in. This is another product that I had in my product last year, and I used this one 78 times last year, and I had a really big dip going. This is actually a product that wasn't in at the beginning of the year, so I only worked on this one for 2 months, and in the first month I reached for this one 28 times, and this is what it looks like then. So I was able to hit pan on it last month, and I expanded that pan a little bit already. I finally hit pan on it after 83 uses tracked in total, and I actually have been using this one as a bronzer. So I don't reach for this one as a powder because it's too deep for me, but it's been working perfectly as a bronzer. So that is what I've been doing, and it means that I'm getting a lot of use out of this one this year, which I'm happy about. And in the past month, I reached for this one 32 times, and this is where it's sitting today. So I'm really happy with the progress on this one. I do hope that the pan has expanded quite significantly, because I feel like it has. I feel like I worked away on it quite a lot, and the dip is definitely getting bigger too. It still has a lot of product left in it, of course, but I am happy that it's going, and I feel like using it now as a bronzer, I definitely feel like I'll be able to finish this one hopefully by like the mid part of the year. So yeah, that is it right there. Very happy with it, and you can see that it's definitely getting lower, but you can even see like the hard pan around it. Hopefully you can see that in the comparison pictures, but it's getting shallower, which means that that top layer is slowly wearing away. And yeah, I do think this one is still going to take quite a long time, but again, if I can get done by the halfway point of the year, which would be 3 more months, I will be very pleased with that. And I'm going to continue working on it. Maybe I'll have to repress it in a couple of months too, maybe even next month, we'll see. It depends on how much it moves in the next month, but it is the product that I'm wearing as my bronzer. I do have a different bronzer on as well to deepen it up a little bit, but I do use this one as like a really light bronzer because it does look really beautiful, especially now in the kind of winter months. The weather has finally started warming up, so it's a little bit easier going a slightly more bronzy, but I did find that this one worked perfectly during that beginning kind of time of the year when my regular bronzer was a little bit too deep. So I'm glad that I found a use of it because it was too deep for me as a powder. But we'll see again how long it actually takes to finish. And then the remaining 4 products that I have were actually rolled in last month. Like I said, it was a really good update last month. And the first one out of those is this product right here, which is a foundation. This is my Laura Mercier Real Flawless Foundation. This is the Weightless Perfecting Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 1W1 Cashmere. So this is not an old foundation at all in my collection. I actually purchased one last year, but it's not my favorite. It's not a perfect match for me. It's slightly too deep. I'm actually wearing this one again today, so maybe you can see that it's just like 1 shade too deep for me, I feel like, and it's also not my favorite formula. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to pan this one. I also have purchased quite a few foundations in the past month. If you didn't see my week of first impressions of foundations, you should go check that out because I'm really happy with that video and I found some really good gems in there that I much prefer to this one. But I do want to pan this one, not because it's old, but because it's not my favorite formula. So with all of that being said, I have reached for this one a little bit in the last month, but again, I did buy some new foundations. I found some that I like better, so I haven't been reaching for it every single day. It's been more like a weekend foundation, or like if I do my makeup for a short period of time or working from home, things like that. So I got 15 use out of it in the past month, which is about half of the time. Again, if I go to the office or anything like that, I do try to not reach for this one because again, it's not the best long-lasting one and it doesn't suit me perfectly skin tone wise. Again, it's not that off, but a little bit, so that is why I only have 15 use on it, but I'm happy with that, and I can't really see through it. It doesn't have, like, you know, it doesn't settle. However, if I lift the wand up, I do feel like, looking at it, it feels like the foundation is like gathering up around here, which would mean that I have maybe like 2/5 of it left. So a decent amount, but that is just an estimate. Well, I don't know how long this is going to take to finish, but I'm going to keep working on it, and again, hopefully this one can be done before summer, when it's going to end up being too late for me. The next product that we have, which also rolled in last month, is the most successful out of all of them, and that is my LYS bronzer, and this one is the No Limit matte bronzer in the shade Motivate Light, and it's just the bronzer that I have to deepen up that powder a little bit. I'm going to roll a footage of what this one looked like when I first introduced it. It did have a little bit of use, but nothing too extreme. And I have been using this one quite a lot, like I said, in the past month. Not every single time I do my makeup, but you know, a decent amount. However, this is quite a pigmented bronzer, which I didn't really expect, especially now in the beginning of the year. I can't really use too much of it, so I reached for this one 25 times, and this is what it looks like today. So it does definitely have some brush marks, but not really like a dip or anything. It is definitely a bit harder to reach for. It's a little bit more pigmented than other formulas that I've panned in the past, so I do feel like it is going a little bit slower, but I also feel like when the weather gets warmer, I will be able to reach for this one a little bit more and a little bit more heavily. So I'm not worried about it for now, but it's definitely moving a little bit slower, even though I'm reaching for it quite often. So yeah, 25 use on this one, and you can see maybe some brush marks on it, but no dip, no nothing like that. It is a really beautiful bronzer though. Again, I'm reaching for this one today. I'm mainly reaching for it like at the perimeters of my face, very, very slightly, and that's kind of how I've been using it. So I put down the Chanel powder first as like a light bronze, and then I put this one on days where I wanted a little bit more tan, but again, not every single time, but quite often. So I'm going to continue working on this one. It's definitely going to be in again for the long haul, but I am still quite sure that I can finish this one this year, especially since I am expecting to be able to use this one more heavily during the warmer months. So I'll just take a little bit of a break. It's a little bit later now. I actually had to work for a little bit. I'm filming this on a Monday, and yeah, my lunch break was over, but I do have a little bit of a break now, so I'm going to continue filming this. I have about 10 minutes, but that should be enough. I only have 2 more products to talk about. So the next product, again, was rolled in last month, and that is this powder right here. This is a contour powder. It is from Kevlar Kwan, and it's the sculpting powder in the shade Light. It looked like this when I first rolled it in. It is just like a contour powder. I actually had this one in my collection for a very, very long time, and as you can see, it barely looked used. I got this one in 2016. I know exactly when I purchased it because I was living in Chicago at the time. So I just need to get this one out. It's not a product that I reach for very often, and I also had it for way too long. In the past month, I reached for this one 6 times, so not the best, but I did get a little bit of use out of it, and this is what it looked like today. So I don't know if you can see any difference. I've been trying to look at it to see if it's starting to get any sort of dip, but I mean, after 6 uses, you can't really expect much. So you'll be a better judge at that, looking at the comparison footage to see if there's actually any difference in the product. So yeah, this is the product right here. Again, not much use, but I did reach for it those 6 times, so it is something. It is just a product that I find a bit hard to reach for. I don't contour very often. I did use it a little bit today on my jawline. That's kind of like where I prefer reaching for it. I feel like I have quite strong like cheekbones in general, and I feel like when I contour, sometimes it just makes my face look a bit more boxy. I do, however, feel like my face is getting a little bit more swollen since being pregnant. It's probably going to get worse, so it is probably a good time to pan a contour powder. But yeah, I'm struggling to find uses to reach for this one, and like how to incorporate it in a way that I like using it and that it looks quite natural. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know, because I do have quite a long way to go with this one, and I'm probably gonna have to use it more than 6 times every month if I want to finish it this year. And then lastly, we have this product right here, which is an eyeshadow. This one is from Stila, and it's actually one that I panned a little bit last year. I don't have the uses written down. I might look it up and put it on the screen, how much uses I had rolling over from last year. But I did pan this one a lot last year in my deco panning. So yeah, this one looked like this when I first introduced it. It is the Magnificent Metals in the shade Metallic Peach, which is just like a champagne-y type of color. And I'd already had panned it, as you can see. It's quite a flaky flaky shade, and it's not my absolute favorite. I do still enjoy it, but I do struggle a little bit to incorporate this one when I have all my indie singles to focus on this year. So it's been a little bit hard, and you can see that in my uses because I only reached for it twice, and this is what it looks like today. So again, I'm not sure if you can see any difference. I did actually use this one in today's look, which you can see in a second. And I did use it quite heavily today, so I'm hoping the pan effect has changed a little bit. But I know the second use was just as an inner corner highlight, so probably quite slow. But 2 uses is better than none, and I'm happy with that. But I'm definitely need to step up my usage game with this one. It is one that I'm quite determined to finish, so I'll definitely try to make a better effort to reach for this shadow. So first up, yeah, this is the shimmer shadow that I'm reaching for on my eyes, and as you can see, it is very nice. It's like a peachy, light, sparkly type of shade. It is quite chunky, but if I kind of put it down, I have a glitter glue underneath, and that's kind of like what I'm wearing on my eyes. I do have a different Nikon highlight on today though, which is a little bit brighter than this one, but it does look quite pretty. It is the only shimmer shade I have on my lids today, so it is very nice. But again, it's just kind of splitting the time between this one and everything else that I'm panning, and it is quite hard, but we'll see. I am still quite determined to finish this one, like I said, and yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take. This one has quite a lot of product. There's 2 grams of product, so it is doable, but it's definitely going to take a lot more effort. So again, we'll see how long this one stays in the project. All right, so since I did finish up this product right here, we do have one more product rolling into the project. So let me share with you what I'm replacing this one with. And what I have decided to roll in is a product that I reached for a lot last summer, and I really do like it in summer. It's probably slightly too early maybe to roll this one in, but I am going on holiday in April over Easter, so I do kind of want to roll this one in because I think I'm going to use it then, and then, you know, it's May and then June, so I do feel like we're slowly going to start being able to use this product again. And that is my Pie The Impossible Glow Highlighting Drops. This one again was in product last year. You can see there, it was actually all the way full last year, so I did use a lot of it, and you can see the markings right there. I haven't used it since that last marking, so that is kind of where I'm sitting now, but what I'll do is I'll remark it on the other side just to have fresh marks from this year, but I'm going to let it settle fully first because this one has been laying down in my drawers for a while. But again, you can see my starting point there, it is at bottom line, so not too much left to go, and I do think this one is going to be one that I can finish this year. I loved reaching for this one in summer, both like on my collarbones, shoulders, when I have that out, and also on my face. But since I'm panning a lot of other face highlighters, I do feel like I might use this one mainly like on my collarbones and stuff like that. So we'll see how I get on with this one, but it is going to be what I roll in place of that Hamish primer. So that is going to be it for this update today. Regarding next update, I don't know if I'm going to have much rolling out. The only product I think I'm going to be able to finish is this one right here. Again, I'm going to be surprised if this one lasts longer next month, but I do think in like 2 months time I'm going to have a better update. I think maybe even the sleek highlighter can be out. I don't know if there's anything else, but that one I'm going to try to have out in 2 months time. We'll see. But this is one that I'm going to have a goal on to finish next month, and I am getting very close, so I do think that's going to happen relatively soon. So again, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you're doing a project pan. Were you able to finish anything in any of your projects this past month? I again finished up that primer. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I finished. I don't think there is. I am panning obviously other products in other projects, but I don't think I actually finished anything else. I did finish like a lot in February, but not in March. But we'll see how April gets on. Maybe I'll finish a couple more products then. But for now, I only had that one product in the month of March. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!